What is going on, everybody? This is Sergey from MMA Soap Opera, cause that's what it is, and today we're gonna be talking about this past weekend's UFC Fight Night, Petr Yan versus Deiveson Figueiredo in Macau, in China. Shout out to Michael Bisping, by the way. He was the main star last time UFC was in Macau. It was in like 2014, something like that, right? But before we do any of that, guys, if you are into UFC, MMA, all the drama that is happening in the background, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell to this channel, because that's exactly what we're talking about in here. Alright, and with that out of the way, let's jump into the video. Alright, Fight Night, Deiveson Figueiredo versus Petr Yan. What a great card this was. What I'm a little bit sad about is that this is the first Chinese card in a real long time, and the biggest Chinese name was Yan Zhaonan. I think that only shows the need that this market needs to be developed a little bit more. But anyways, what a great banger we got as a main fight of the evening. That was, of course, Petr Yan versus Deiveson Figueiredo. Initially, I was really excited to see Deiveson Figueiredo back again, because ever since he joined bantamweight division, he looked very good. He looked very strong, he looked powerful, he looked like he belongs to the weight class. And the boy has been busy, man. This was actually his 4th fight in less than 1 year. Extremely impressive. I wish more fighters were this active. Stylistically, this fight with Petr Yan was basically a sweet treat for us fans. Both fighters technical, very powerful, really good takedown defense as well. And if you look at the track record of Petr Yan, he kind of piled up some losses in the past couple of fights, apart from the win against Song Yedong. That was his last fight. But before that, he lost several times, and it really felt like he lost a little bit of his steam. But yeah, man, I gotta be honest, the steam is back. And the steam came back in a real good time as well, because I feel like he really needed to get this fight. If he would lose, that would put him in a pretty bad light. I think that the loss damages Deiveson Figueiredo a little bit less than Petr Yan, because Yan already lost several times in this division, and some might even say that this could be his last run for the belt. Whereas Deiveson Figueiredo, he was on the winning streak. This is his first loss in this division. I think that like 1 or 2 wins for Deiveson Figueiredo, and he's gonna be in the talk for the belt again. The only issue probably for Deiveson Figueiredo is his age. I think he's like 38 or something like that. So yeah, man, time is running out for him, but he still looks really good. He's physically super strong. It doesn't seem like he's gassing too much, and he's performing very well. So yeah, I believe that Figgy still has quite a lot left in him. But yeah, man, what we got was actually boxing masterclass by Petr Yan with some incredible trips as well. Like, my favorite part of the whole fight, I gotta be honest, was actually the slam trip that Petr Yan did on Deiveson Figueiredo. I think it was in like 3rd round or something like that. By the way, it kind of reminded me of the trips that Leon Edwards was doing on Nate Diaz during their fight. Slick stuff. In the first round, Figgy actually landed a takedown of his own. It was that beautiful inside trip. But it really seems like he got discouraged by the defense of Petr Yan, because Petr Yan was eventually able to stand up, and he was doing a really good job defensively on the ground. So like, Deiveson Figueiredo couldn't really threat with anything serious. And yeah, man, for the rest of the fight, it really did seem like Deiveson Figueiredo was struggling a little bit to find his range and to read Petr Yan a little bit. Like, at times he looked a little bit lost. I don't know, maybe he was counting on being the heavier puncher in the fight. Of course, Figgy is known for having some heavy hands, and he definitely has a history of putting down fighters with really good chin, like Chito Vera or Rob Font. So yeah, maybe he was counting that he's gonna get a little bit more damage done in this fight against Petr Yan, instead of coming up with a bigger volume of strikes. Overall, I think that this was a really good performance by both of the fighters, and I'm really excited to actually see rematch of Petr Yan and Sean O'Malley. I think that would be a banger. That's the fight to make, in my opinion. And when it comes to Deiveson Figueiredo, I don't really know. He already defeated Chito Vera. Who else is in there? Sanhagen. That would be a fire matchup, man. Yeah, great stuff by Petr Yan. I'm really excited to see what is coming next for him. Alright, in the co-main event, we had a comeback of Yan Zhaonan. This was her first fight ever since she lost to Zhang Weili on UFC 300. And dude, this was her best performance yet, I think. She looked absolutely incredible in this fight. This was a technical domination of Tabata Ricci. I don't really think that Tabata Ricci did bad in this fight. It's just that you could see that Yan Zhaonan is on a completely different level. What else we saw on this card? Oh yeah, we got the crazy wheel kick by our favorite Russian Kung Fu master, Muslim Salikhov. The dude got performance of the night, and man, he absolutely deserved this. I think that no one was really expecting him in his age to be able to perform athletic attacks like this one. Then another performance of the night was Gabriella Fernandes, who absolutely reminded us why we love MMA so much. She went into this fight as a massive underdog, and she pretty much demolished this big prospect that we had in Wong Song. I think that's how you pronounce it. Wong Song. Let it be Wong Song. Gabriella Fernandes absolutely killed it. I think she first landed a really good body kick. First of all, I'm really surprised that Wong didn't see that kick coming. She was supposed to be the superior striker in this fight. But yeah, Fernandes first landed that great kick and then basically choked her to sleep. Incredible stuff. In MMA, you just don't know what is gonna happen, regardless the odds. And I gotta be honest, I definitely need a good reminder of that from time to time. Anyways, then we had the fight between Volkan Ozdemir and Carlos Ulberg. And yeah, absolutely no one was expecting this fight to go the distance. Like, if you look at the recent fights of Carlos Ulberg, the man was basically a finishing machine. He still won, but I'm kind of glad that Ozdemir a little bit put him through his paces. Then we got another great TKO. This one was by Zhang Mingyang, who managed to land a nasty elbow and drop his opponent, Ozzy Diaz. I think that was another performance of the night, no? Anyways, after he dropped him, he basically just finished him with some ground and pound on the ground. And I really hope that we're gonna see more of good performances by him, because I feel like China needs him right now. Like, believe it or not, there's not a single male Chinese fighter in any top 15 in any division, which is kind of crazy considering how big China is and the history that China has with martial arts. So yeah, they kind of need UFC, and I'm glad that UFC is putting some effort into building that market. Oh yeah, then I also want to mention Loner Kavanagh. That's the really promising prospect from UK. This was actually his UFC debut, and I thought that he did really well. He seemed very strategic, he had some really good movement, and what stood out to me the most was actually how calm and collected he was. The dude had some really good composure in the octagon, and I thought that that was actually very impressive because his opponent, he was trash talking him during the fight. So yeah, good stuff. I'm really curious to see what is going to happen with him next. Oh yeah, by the way, he's only 25 years old, so that dude has whole future in front of him. Oh yeah, by the way, Ming, what a crazy head kick knockout. And look at this. She's a registered doctor in China who was keeping it a secret from her parents that she's an MMA fighter. That's a great story. And she also won a UFC contract, so like, good for her. Man, we definitely have to keep an eye on her as well. Anyways, those were the fights and the fighters that stood out to me. Really good fight night. I would rate it maybe like 8 out of 10, something like that. Pretty damn good stuff. But what about you? What did you think about the fight night card that we just had in China, Macau? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to know. And while you are there, if you haven't done that earlier, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell as well so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. Alright guys, this was it for today's video. My name is Sergey from MMA Soap Opera, cause that's what it is.